Frederick Jordan, and I'm back again with another video, and I'm going to talk about the past, past continuous and past perfect. The difference between these three. The first topic will be simple past. And what is the simple past? It is the things that happened or existed before. Something that happened before the present time. So I put up an example here. John ate an apple. John ate an apple. The verb here is in the past tense. Okay, and what kind of verb this is? If you see, I've written here regular and irregular verb. So ate comes under the irregular verb. You see, eat has become ate. You've got E-A-T, eat, and A-T-E, ate. So the verb has changed. Okay, you got E-A-T is in the present tense and A-T-E in the past tense. So something that had happened in an earlier time, but time not mentioned. Happened earlier, but time not mentioned. So John ate an apple. When did he eat an apple? We do not know, but he ate an apple. So the tense, eat has changed to ate. And what is this tense we are talking about? We're talking about the action, the verb. We're talking about the verb that has changed its form to prove that John had eaten an apple earlier. And how do we do this? You see, when you talk about past tense, we talk about, say, push. In the regular form, we just add an ed. And in the irregular form, you see the form changes. See becomes saw, do becomes did. And a few irregular verbs will remain the same, like put, cut, hit. Okay, so this is a very simple way of explaining the simple past tense, where we just talk about the verb changing. Just talk about the verb changing. But mind you, no matter what the subject is, John ate an apple, singular. I ate an apple, singular. They ate apples. They, plural. Ate remains the same, it doesn't change. The verb remains the same in the past tense. The verb does not change. And now I'm going to talk about past continuous tense. What is this past continuous tense? This past continuous tense refers to an action that had started and continues on. Okay, it just continues. But it depends how much and how far it continues till a particular time, or sometimes use an action that it went on and it's still carrying on. Okay, somebody talking about his victories. He had won it long time back, but his victory is still standing. Okay, so these type of things we use the past continuous tense. Now, what is this past continuous tense? This past continuous tense is a combination. It combines the to be form in the past. Okay, what do we use in the to be form in the past is was and were. Over here, no matter what the subject is, we stick to one particular word. Okay, in the past tense. And over here, it has was and were, taking for granted singular and plural. And what else? It's verb. It's verb. This is the auxiliary verb. The main verb comes in the present participle along with the gerund form ing. Now look at the example given here. Mother was making dinner when the phone rang. Mother was making dinner when the phone rang. There's a big difference between this and this. The big difference. Okay, so mother was, using an auxiliary verb, singular subject, was, making is come from the word, the present word, like what we have said, the present participle, make, adding the ing, the gerund, ing. So mother was making dinner when the phone rang. Now this is a simple sentence. Now this becomes a complex sentence. You see, we're adding two things. Over here, it's irrelevant about the time. And over here, it's telling you a particular time. When the phone rang was a particular time, which is added to this. So mother was making dinner when the phone rang. You see, this is quite different from the past continuous is quite different from the simple past. So this is how we identify these simple things. Now, one very important thing is, a very, very important notice, not all verbs can be used in the past continuous tense. Not all verbs can be used in the past continuous tense. And now, gentlemen, I'm going to talk about the past perfect tense. We've done simple past, past continuous, and now past perfect. What is this past perfect tense? This past perfect tense refers to an action at a time earlier than a time in the past. At a time earlier than the time in the past. We're going to talk about something. Okay, something had happened and something that happened a little before that. Okay, a little before that. And that's how we have the perfect tense. The perfect tense gives us a particular time, just like the past continuous tense gives us a particular time. Simple past doesn't exactly mention the time. Past continuous does mention, and past perfect mentions a time. Like what? The example, the maid had cleaned the whole house before the owners arrived. It's already in the past. This is already in the past tense. And she had cleaned is showing before the past. Like this refers to an action at a time earlier. What happened earlier? She cleaned the house earlier, before the action happened. She cleaned this house, whole house, before the owners arrived. So this is the action that we are talking about. Okay, it's an action happening before an action. So we use had as the auxiliary verb and the past participle. In the present, in the past continuous tense, we are talking about present participle, verb along with the present participle, and the past perfect tense we are talking about auxiliary verb and the past participle. Cleaned. Okay, cleaned. So like that, this is in the present, this is in the past. So the maid had cleaned an action that happened earlier, before another action happened, before the owners arrived. And now I can also write the sentence like this: the maid had cleaned the whole house. The maid had cleaned the whole house. But it doesn't come in perfectly. There's something wrong with the syntax. I instead of using the perfect tense there, I could have said, the maid cleaned the whole house. The maid cleaned the whole house. That is in the simple past tense. But if I'm going to write, the maid had cleaned the whole house, then there's an action that happened before an action. Then I've got to extend the sentence, add something to the sentence saying, before the owners arrived. I hope I'm clear out there, gentlemen. I'm just making the difference between these three. Like I told you, no matter what the subject is in the simple past, the verb remains the same. In the past continuous, we use was in verb depending on singular and plural subject. In the perfect tense, no matter what the subject is, this remains the same. If I say the maid had cleaned, singular subject. If I say they had cleaned, plural subject, my verb remains the same. Dear friends, if you liked the video, please share, press the like button if you like it, and please subscribe to my channel.